the other consultancy or advocacy that you do is helping folks with long-term care insurance.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to somebody just the other day who said, well, how many people possibly have long-term insurance? Like they're like, there's only, a few people, right? They're going to have that. So,
there's still quite a few.
Yeah. So what's your work like with long-term care insurance, and how do you help the family?
That's funny. A lot of our clients had bought the long-term care insurance policies years ago,
right.
like 20, 30 years ago, right? So at the time they knew, hey, that was the right thing to do, but they really don't know anything about the policy. And so many of them think that the policy can only be used when they want to go into assisted living. Well, nobody wants to talk about that. At least the people who are talking to us, they don't want to go into assisted living. Right.
So they never even.
Yeah. So they were like, I'm not going to look at my long-term care policy because I think that's what it's for.
Interesting.
So, we do a lot of educating that long-term care policies, provide for several things. Home care, even durable medical equipment.
Yeah, that's right.
Assisted living, skilled nursing, all kinds of things. Even medical devices, being able to provide or purchase medical devices.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of what I do is I go in and I just, educate them on their policy. Oh, you have a long-term care policy? Let's review it. Let's, I know you don't want to use it right now, but at least let's talk about it. So when you're ready to use it, you know how to maximize that. And I always say knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you know what's in that policy, you're going to have power to making educated decisions about your care. So whether it is assisted living or at-home care, at least you know.
Yeah.
Because 20, 30 years ago, it was a good idea.
It was a good idea then. But you're not ever going to remember that. And the other thing that's interesting is the insurance companies are not doing, like, did you know campaigns. It's not like the insurance companies are getting a hold of their policyholders and go, did you know that we will cover this and cover that? And you can do this, you can do that. They want it to go away. The insurance companies want you to die and never claim on this thing.
Yeah,
that's their goal. The more you forget about it, the better.
I always say this, like, long-term care insurance or any kind of insurance, they're really good about collecting premiums. Right?
They do a good job.
They're not so proactive about starting that care or letting you know that, hey, did you know you can start your care?
Exactly. Yeah. There's Tom Selleck isn't out there going, did you know?
No.
No,
that's not happening.
That's not going to happen.
No.
But but on the flip side, what is interesting is yes, they will do everything in their power to not pay the claim. But what we have learned is if we do everything right, if we advocate for the family, then they're actually really good at paying.
Yeah.
Because they have to.
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine that is in flood, disaster recovery, homeowners type of stuff. And firstly, for his industry, getting money out of those guys, he said, is atrocious.
Yeah, it's really, really hard.
Not the case for us, right?
No, it's not. I'll tell you this one story. So I was working with a family, and they had a long-term care insurance policy, and I said, hey, let's do a review of the policy, and you know what? We'll call the carrier, and you can see me at work as to what I'm going to ask, and we'll put you, we're going to put you on speaker, so that you can hear along what's being asked, right? Mm-hmm. And so we go through the whole process, and I asked them, I said, would you like to start that claim now? And they say, oh, yeah, I think so. And the insurance claim, the insurance claim worker on the other end was like, who are you with? I said, I'm with Amada Senior Care. She goes, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, we've worked with many Amada Senior Cares before, so.
No way.
Yeah. And they said, you've been very helpful to your client, our policyholder. So I was like, that was a fantastic compliment from the carrier.
That's like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Telling Luke Skywalker, you've done a good job.
You've done a great job helping your policyholders. So
that was
a real compliment. It showed credibility with the client, right? That
absolutely.
We've done this before. They know who we are, I had one to say, "Oh yeah, we have your office and in our files already."
Yeah,
so.
we know you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to pay you.
Yeah,
That's right. We know who you are.
That's right. I say, it's like we've dotted our I's, we've crossed our T's. We're gonna get this claim started for you. And I always say, I tell them I have like a near 1,000% batting average, right? But if they ever do deny a claim, I've never had one denied, right? I've had one initially denied.
When it first filed.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it's first filed. So they try. But they never win.
They never win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, there's laws in place that say they must pay.
Yeah.
Like they can't pay you a percentage of it. They have to pay because they're paying. It's like life insurance, right? Like, pass away and you have $1 million policy. They can't just call your family and go, "How about I give you $500?"
Yeah.
Is that okay?
A percentage? Or
okay with it? No.
It's like not halfway dead.
It's not. It's dead. So that's at least we have that going, and I don't know if you see this, but maybe the tide can change a little bit because we're having more and more long-term care insurance companies do what you're saying, realizing that we're here, and that we can help.
Yeah.
And even what's happening a lot of times now is insurance companies are realizing that we can actually help deter fraud. Right? So if a family doesn't really need it, or if they're not eligible for it, but they're pretending they are, we can actually come in and make sure, no, you don't need to use it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely be completely upfront with them.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you don't, I mean, the whole idea is we're following the rules of the long-term care insurance policy.
Right.
You don't want to mess around and go outside of those policy terms, right?
Yeah.
So you either qualify or you don't qualify. You either qualify based off of these activities of daily living or a cognitive impairment.
Right.
Right. So, if we can't do that, we can't start
advise
the
the
claim.
family. Yeah, exactly. And I think
I've had a few conversations like that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think insurance companies are starting to realize that could be a powerful ally, right? That if we actually work together instead of against each other, because they won't win, then it could actually be a beautiful thing. And so that's an exciting future. So long-term care insurance, VA, and you also obviously take care of folks in any other way possible.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we try to get them things like durable medical equipment. We can provide, like within the VA, we point them in the right direction of maybe doing, applying for disability compensation, service-related disability compensation. So we want to be like an extension. Or if they want to, like, for example, go to assisted living, like if that's where they want to be, then we're going to help them get there. We're going to provide some assistance for them.
Yeah.
So, and then, we also provide them assistance on financing.
Interesting.
Yeah, whether it be doing like I don't want to say, they don't call it reverse mortgage anymore, but they do an equity home. They call it equity mortgage now. So providing them some guidance or understanding to that program, because that can be really scary too.
Sure.
Right. So putting up your home.
Yeah, it's like, what does that look like?
No. There's organizations and they're strictly regulated. Like, I mean, more so than the home care industry itself.
Yeah.
Right. So, they make sure that they do everything right. You're not going to lose your home. You're not going to not be able to send, your home to your family.
Yeah.
So, there's just trying to calm them down and let them know that, hey, there are other ways to finance your care.
So many ways that we are able to advocate for the family. It's such a landmine. They don't even know there's landmines out there. There's so much that families don't know when they're trying to figure out how to take care of that.
Yeah, so you need to kind of like type that out. What does that look like financially?
Yeah.
Set the expectations. And it's really good. It's really important to set the expectations up front, because you don't ever want this to be a surprise for them. Right.
Yeah.
So just help them through that, understand that, educate them. That's the majority of, I love that. I love that piece of it all, right?
Yeah.
Because they're discovering, like I said before, they're discovering what they didn't know. and the knowledge that they have is now power. It's power in making decisions for themselves.
It's actually kind of cool because so many of the owners we speak to, they talk about the fact that they may have massive businesses, but they are still the ones who are sitting down with the family and says, like, it's so fun. It's so cool sitting down and doing that financial analysis with the family.
Yeah.
It's a little addicting.
I don't think I'll ever leave that part of it.
Really?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just something that I really, really enjoy. All the other stuff I can delegate that thing.
Sure.
All those things.
Yeah.
And even, I even have another person who goes out and helps, do what I do.
Sure.
Right. Bring more clients into
That'll be like one of the last things you give up.
Right. Because it's the passionate part of what I do.